Hello guys, today we are going to see about Tab Game Engine and we will look at the interface today. So we have my project tab, lessons tab, export tab. So the my project tab has these options for you to choose. It has run, create, new, edit and import or remove or backups. And the lessons tab has all the lessons you can start with. You can learn how to add new notes. You can learn how to create basic assets. You can learn how to create a new project. This is basically the lessons or tutorials tab. And here the export tab is used to export your application or project to any of these selected platforms. So after tapping on it, it will take you to the export settings or editor or whatever, and then you can move on to it. So let's say we want to create a new project. We will have to tap on the create new, then we will name it as, let's name our project as new test, then click OK. After that, you have to tap on the save button. So you tap on the save button and you see we now have a new project called new test. So we will, first of all, we need to edit this project, or we need to go to the editor. So we will tap on edit and just edit. Okay, so here is the interface and here is the editor interface. So this place is where you put up objects or nodes and then you manipulate nodes. This is basically the 2D scene. So we will be looking at the buttons or the tabs at the top here. I'm coming. We will look at all these buttons. What do they do and what are the uses of it? It might look so daunting to you. So today we are going to look at all of it, what it does. So we will start with the first one, which is this button. And this button is basically just the main menu button, and it has these options for you to set up your project, set up your editor, and it has a button, a tab for the Godot engine docs and so on. So this is basically used for project settings. And this button here, as you already know it, this is the play button used to play your scene or your application for you to see the end results of your work. And this is the console button or the debug button. So this is where, let's say you have written a code like print hello world. This is where it will appear for you to see it as a print statement does not appear in your game. So this is where you see it for debugging, and this is where you see errors in your code too. So this is basically the console tab for you. And this tab is the scene tab. This is where we create scenes or whatever. This is how we create where we create scenes or objects. So you come to it in the next lesson and understand what scenes are. So basically this is where we create scenes. And this is your node tree. This is your node tree. So what is a node tree? Let's say you are coming from Unity, and in Unity, this is where all your objects in your 3D scene or 2D scene are listed for you to see. Let's say you have a character, a player, a wall, an enemy. This is where all of these objects or things are listed for you to see. So this is basically an object panel, a panel for you to see all the objects in your scene. So in Tap Engine, we call it the node tree. This is the node tree for you to see all the nodes in your scene. So we move on to the next tab. The next button is the Assets tab, and basically this is used to download assets from the internet, like a sprite sheet, a character, player, and so on. And this button here is the File System button. This is where, like, let's say you are coming from Unity. I will always use Unity because this is basically the most used engine, where you have this file system. This is where you have all your animations, your 3D models, your 2D models, your sprite sheets stored. Let's say you download a file, a sprite sheet from the Asset Store. This is where it will all be available for you to access. So basically this button is for the file system. And we move on to this button, and as you can see how it is, this button is for your code editor. This is the code editor of your game, and this is where you code all your behaviors for your game. So this is basically the code editor. And we move on to this camera button here. This is basically a camera button, but it focuses on an object for you. Let's say you've lost track of an object in your scene, you can't find it, and this is where this button comes in handy. You tap on it and it will take you to that object when you have selected it. And this button here is the undo and the redo buttons. Let's say you've made a mistake in your development and you want to undo it and go back to the previous settings. You can tap on it and it will undo whatever that you have done. So thank you guys for today. We have covered the interface. In our next lesson, we will look at the scene tab more in detail. So hope to see you and thank you for being here.